Yo. Good morning, good afternoon, freedom marcher, freedom family, freedom lovers, freedom fighters. Your boy Snapzilla Guerrilla here, aka The Definition, aka Tyrant's Bane. Coming through to check in and go over some plans I got for this channel and future channels, right? Once I get more time freed up, and once I'm not having to travel for work as much, I can put more time into the things I really want to do. And I wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be great, right? It's going to be something that I've been wanting to do, wanting to bring you guys more quality content. You know what I'm saying? So these things will be in the works. And once I get going, yeah, it's going to be dope as fuck, right? I'm going to make sure that it's going to be quality shit. It's going to be informative, educational, entertaining. I am going to bring the shiznit. You understand what I'm talking about? So once I start doing that, you guys will see a change. Like I said, right now I drive 8 to 10 hours a week for work. And I also have to spend time at work. Xander, what's good? And because I work in a field where I have to be out, out in the field, right? I'm in construction, so I spend a lot of time in the field when I am at work. And this also takes away from little things I could be doing here and there. Let's say if I were working from home or something like that. But anyway, it's going to be dope. It's going to be, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with. Nephew Xander's in the building. I'm going to be a force because the things that I'm passionate about, I bring the heat to it. I put, all my due diligence, all the hard work that I do, I put it into that. Like being in the electrical field for almost 20 years. Every time I do something in the electrical field, it is on point. Glass Spring with Autumn, what's good? How you doing this morning, Queen? So expect to see that going on once I free up more time. Because it's not really about money, right? It's not about money. It's more about time. And for me, I'm trying to get in a position where I'm making more money in less amount of time. More money than I'm making right now, but spending less time working to make that money outside of what I would be doing creatively. So what do I have planned? Well, I have planned to keep this channel going. I'm gonna start making new channels. You know what I'm saying? This channel is going to remain my truth channel, right? Where I just talk about whatever I wanted to talk about, in politics, in regards to freedom, and all those types of things. What's good? I can't really read that. Oh, hi, Shay. Born again Christian was good. All right. Anyway, so this channel will remain like the channel where I speak about the politics candidly, where I speak about, freedom and truth and all those types of things. This will remain that channel. Being as it is, it's been stifled greatly. You know what I'm saying? Been throttled, and it ain't going nowhere. I will continue to make content on this channel for those types of things, right? But there will be offshoots and spinoffs of this channel where it'll be more focused on solutionary things, where where YouTube will be less likely to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Just solutionary things, basically. I have a concept in mind that I'm going to keep to myself right now, because you know how people are. I'm going to keep my concepts to myself, but it's something that's not being done to the degree that I'm going to do it. So there's going to be that. Then there's going to be, my fitness channel, where I want to talk about functional fitness and more important aspects of fitness, but not preaching about how my idea of nutrition is a blanket thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to broad stroke nutrition for everybody. Born again Christian says they hate not seeing me. Okay, well, that's interesting, because I don't think I've ever seen you on my channel, in my chat before, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm going to start getting into my fitness channel. It's going to involve functional fitness, including any Muay Thai and boxing drills that people can do at home that will be helpful in the field, right? Be helpful in the real world. I also want to cover boxing and Muay Thai, right? So I'm going to have a separate separate channel for boxing and Muay Thai, where I really want to put a lot of focus on Muay Thai in America, because it's not big in America, right? There are Muay Thai competitions in America, pro Muay Thai competitions in America, but they're not televised like they should be. They're not highlighted like there should be. It's not as organized. Well, it's not as organized as boxing, right? Boxing is not just an American sport; it's a worldwide sport. Now, Muay Thai in Thailand, Muay Thai is like a profession for Thai people, right? So they start from very young, and that's all they do. All they do is train in Muay Thai. So that is their profession. They do that to earn a living, right? It's not something that, I'm just gonna box because I feel like making a little bit of money. No, it's their way of life. It's part of their tradition. It's part of their warriorship, and they do it to earn a living, but they don't do it to become millionaires. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. And so it's contained. Muay Thai in Thailand is contained essentially to Muay Thai. Now, you'll have other organizations, they'll take Muay Thai and they'll incorporate it in their shit, right? Like One Championship and all these different organizations. But, Muay Thai in Thailand Muay Thai is very self-contained. And those who really want to compete in traditional Muay Thai from other countries, they go to Muay Thai to do it. They go to Muay Thai. They go to Thailand to do it, right? They'll go to Thailand to compete in traditional, real Muay Thai. And J-Man, what's good? What's good? How you doing, brother? I think that now I'm not really anybody, right? I don't have any influence in the world of Muay Thai or sports entertainment, but why not do my part to highlight Muay Thai and maybe try and encourage and influence people to gravitate to Muay Thai like they do to boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because Muay Thai is boxing with knees and elbows and clinches and throws. You can do all that. It's a lot more exciting. There's a lot more different weapons you can use. There's a lot you can't do in Muay Thai that you can do in boxing and vice versa, right? Because there are moves and measures you can take in boxing that would be detrimental for you to do in Muay Thai, like rolling. If you roll under something and you're like bending at the waist, you're asking to get kneed right in the face, right? But there is a way to do it without, you know, leaving yourself open to that. Muay Thai is great. So there's different types of Muay Thai, right? There's traditional Muay Thai, right, where it has a specific stance, and you're not really doing a lot of lateral movement or footwork. It's pretty much straight on in a straight line. You know what I'm saying? You have Dutch Muay Thai, where it's a lot more boxing, right? So in Dutch Muay Thai, you're going to be more susceptible to body kicks. You're going to be more susceptible to body kicks, but you're going to have, a lot of times, you're going to have the high guard. It's a lot of inside fighting, right? Which can be, it can be bad for a Thai fighter, right? For a traditional Thai fighter, you know what I'm saying? Once a Dutch Muay Thai fighter gets inside, they can do a lot of damage. So there's different types of Muay Thai, and then there's a hybrid between boxing and Muay Thai, where you're using head movement, you're using lateral movement, you're using shuffling, you're doing all those different types of things, but in a certain way. You can't just do it like you do it in boxing. You have to do it a certain way. So it's a lot of different things in Muay Thai that you can do, and that these fighters can do, that is very exciting. To me, it's more exciting than boxing, and it's more exciting than MMA, especially when MMA gets into the ground game, right? It's a lot more exciting to watch. So, you know, I'm very excited to highlight Muay Thai. I feel like first I'm going to start with introducing people to traditional Thailand Muay Thai and Thai fighters, and all those, and all that type of thing. So basically, like what I was talking about with the different two Muay Thai styles and the different ways to use Muay Thai. If you guys know who Bu Kao is a legend in the sport of Muay Thai, and he uses a more traditional Muay Thai method. He uses, he has the basics down, right? He's mastered the basics of Muay Thai. It's not very flashy, it's very direct, it's very straightforward, it's very traditional, but he has mastered it to the point where he's a master, right? He's a beast. Then you got, on the other side of the spectrum, you got Sanchai. Sanchai is more like the Muhammad Ali of Muay Thai, right? He'll do a lot more flashier things. He'll do cartwheel kicks. He'll do a lot of fake kicks, right? A lot of feints. A lot of, question mark kicks. A lot more flying knees and flying kicks and things like that. But he's so masterful at it. It's kind of crazy how he gets away with it. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have like Superlek and Lordzilla, man. Lordzilla, man, bro. Lordzilla is like the Floyd Mayweather of Muay Thai. The way he fights is just amazing. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of different styles. And then on the Dutch side, you have Hoost. Hoost. Y'all look him up. Hoost. That dude is a beast, right? He is a beast. He's a Dutch Muay Thai style fighter. And, that dude is something else, right? He is something else. Like, he's a beast. These are kind of fighters I'll be highlighting. And also, lesser known Muay Thai fighters. And then I'll start breaking into the American circuit of Muay Thai, which is a lot more difficult. You have to go to like local Muay Thai, competitions, because like I said, it's not very widely televised. But I hope I can help get it to be that way, because that would be pretty dope, right? You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, I'll be covering a lot of Muay Thai and also boxing as well, because I love boxing, right? I want to get into different aspects and do different things with the sport of boxing, and covering the sport of boxing. I want to do a lot of fact checking, right? I want to, in regards to covering boxing, because people be lying and spreading false narratives and spreading bullshit, and this really greatly negatively affects the sport of boxing, right? And that's why someone like Turkey Al-Sheikh was allowed to come in and do what he did, right? For good, bad, or indifferent, whether what he does is great for the sport or bad for the sport, it remains to be seen, because we need more time. We need more time for it to marinate, for things to go into effect, to see the effects of what happened. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about one belt and all this other shit, one champion in each division, reducing the number of divisions down to 8. Well, we don't know how that's going to affect the sport, right? We can speculate and assume, right, make educated guesses, but we don't really know. But it's because of all the misinformation. It's because of all the hate for certain fighters and all those types of things that this has been allowed to happen. And I want to kind of shed light on the realities of boxing and behind the scenes, and what people talking about different things like who got this purse and who got that pay-per-view and who said this and who said that, who ducked who and who ducked that, and it needs to be a lot more streamlined, and just cut all the bullshit out. Cut the bullshit out, the emotionalism out. Just the facts. Just disseminate the facts. What's wrong with that, right? So that's kind of what I want to do when covering the sport of boxing, is just to help people understand what the realities are, what the facts are. Because I do love the sport, and I consider myself to be a casual to a degree in terms of academic boxing knowledge, because I don't know as much as academically and historically as like a scrapbook boxing and BFTB and Stormy B Man, Drew Titan, all those guys, or even Champside and knockoff Pity Pat, right? Those guys have a lot more academic, historical knowledge of the sport of boxing, and that's why I would go to them to get boxing news, because these guys know what the fuck they're talking about. And so I do want to gain more knowledge in that regard, study the history more, and dig into a little bit more of other things involved in regards to sport of boxing, like rankings and all that type of shit. So because I enjoy doing research, I enjoy fact checking, that shit I like it. Now I love training in the sport more, but like I said, once I free my time up, I can dedicate time to both. You know what I'm saying? I can train and I can do more research and do more studying. Right now, I focus my time on training in the sport, and I don't even train like I really want to train. I want to spar at least 2-3 days a week, light sparring, of course. I'm not into hard sparring, because that you don't want to cause unnecessary damage for sparring, right? But technical sparring is the best thing to prepare you for a fight. Not hard sparring, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Technical sparring, technical light sparring, that is more beneficial, because it does not take away from your punch resistance. It doesn't take away from your endurance. It doesn't cause as many injuries, right? So, yeah. These ideas for these other channels, man, like the fitness channel, again, like I said, it's going to be focused on functional fitness. It's going to be focused on fight training and whatnot, things that you can do. I do want to get into going to this gym more, and kind of helping that gym get more out there and get more publicity and whatnot, and also highlight some training there. So there's a lot I want to do, and the more I do, the less work I want to do, right? The less work for an employer, right? I want to slowly break away from being employed by someone else. I want to employ myself. I want to be employed by those people I provide services to. Because as long as you're earning money, you are employed, right? It's just who is employing you. Are you employing yourself? Are you being employed by customers and people that hire you for your services? Or are you being employed by a company or another entrepreneur? You know. But yeah, I'm gonna in regards to my production. You know, right now, how am I talking to you guys? I'm in a truck driving to a destination over 200 miles away. So, you know, I'm right now, everything's off the dome. I'm winging it. I don't have notes in front of me. I don't have any of that going on. I'm talking to you guys through my iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's not the production quality of my channel is basically bottom tier. You know what I'm saying? So I rely on being able to disseminate information and articulate myself in a certain way in order for you guys to retain information and get the information from me. But once I'm able to start making moves towards better production, I will get certain things popping. I already have ideas for like an introduction with animation. You know, a really dope concept. I'm really looking forward to talking to somebody about making that happen. My daughter, actually, my oldest daughter, is into animation. So right now she's learning animation right now on her own. Just like she's learning how to play the piano and the guitar on her own. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty dope. And she can sing. So I'm gonna be asking her to help me with some animation. You know, keep it in the family, and I'll pay her, right? Just like I pay all my children to do little things. But I want to get my production levels up. I want to get, you know, a nice camera. I want to get a laptop that can handle a lot of processing power, green screen, whatever, or set up a background. I don't know. But it's going to be coming, right? Because I understand now that as an entrepreneur, it's a good idea to be on platforms like this to advertise and to promote your services, right? Especially if you're not going to go through, if you're not a big company or a big agency that, you know, they can hire their own production crews to film commercials and all, you know, you don't have millions of dollars to pay to air your commercials. This is a great platform. YouTube, Instagram, all these different platforms are great for promotion and advertising, and you save a lot of money, right? So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to making moves towards that direction. So even things that I want to do that have nothing to do with YouTube, right? Like being a fitness trainer. I have desires to be a fitness trainer with a certain particular niche that I don't see a lot of people doing, just to change it up, right? To provide a different look. I'm going to have clients. I already got people hitting me up all the time, right? So let's say I'm at the park. You know, when I do my overtraining, I do my overtraining at the park, and people see me doing it. They see me doing my drills. They see me doing my sprints. They see me doing, you know, my Muay Thai and boxing drills, right? And they come up to me and they ask me if I'm a trainer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already advertising myself locally. You know what I'm saying? So people come up to me all the time, ask me if I'm training. Even when I'm not exercising, even when I'm not out there just doing my overtraining, right? And the purpose of me doing my overtraining is not to have people come up to me and ask me to train them. No, that's it. Because I'm not prepared to train clients full time right now. But they come up to me and ask, and That's an encouraging sign. I went to a food truck to get me some smoked chicken, right? The food truck by my house to get some delicious smoked chicken, and the lady in there, she asked me if I was a trainer. I wasn't even training at that point. I just walked up to get some food, and she asked me if I trained. So, you know, sometimes you gotta follow the signs. Sometimes you gotta look at what's in front of you to know what your best move is. And right now, with my wife going to school, she's going to school for nuclear imaging, right? Which can get a lot of bread, right? Queen Sister Cameron, how you doing? Salute to you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Be careful driving out there. Yeah, so my wife is going to be, she has about a year left in her program, and she's going to be getting into nuclear imaging, which brings she can make a lot of money. She can make about as much money as I make in a week, on a weekly basis. And once that happens, I'll still be working, of course, because I'm not going to, I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, my wife makes as much money as me, let me stop working. No, hell no, I'm not doing that. That ain't going to happen. I got to have some money coming in. But once that happens, right, about this time next year or about September next year, I'll have a lot more time, because I'll have to be at home basically full time for my kids, because she's going to be traveling. She's going to be working as a traveling nuclear imaging person, and she's probably going to be working in California for a little bit, because that's where they make the most money. They make the most money there, and they make the most money in Hawaii. I'm not interested in going with her to California, right? But if she wants to, the kids can go back and forth. But, we have a plan to be financially independent. We want to pay cash for everything. Our land, we want to sell this house that we live in, because it's part of an HOA. Fuck that shit. HOAs are ass. So we're going to sell that house about a year into the program. Once she's a year within, once she's working for about a year and saves up a bunch of money, because all her money is not going to have to go toward anything but saving, right? Paying off some debt, paying off the debt we have, paying off both our vehicles, and some whatever little debt we have. That's what her money's going to go toward, and saving up to buy some land. So once we're able to do that, we'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Probably get some tiny homes. Probably get like 2 or 3 tiny homes on our land. Big enough to fit our family. That'll be enough to fit our family. And then we want to build our own home, right? We want to build our house from the ground up, using quality materials and quality craftsmanship and all that. And yeah, and we can take our time. We can take our time. We can build it the way we want to build it, and all that shit. And if we're staying in tiny homes, there's not going to be any type of rush or pressure to get it done. And we plan on buying our land 100% cash. So we just want to be financially independent and financially free from debt, all that good shit. So that's the plan. But once she's working, I'll have to be home full time for the kids. So yeah. So these things have to happen. I have to get things in line, and I have to get things straightened out. You know what I'm saying? So I do plan on hustling in regards to that. It's going to be a straight up hustle. And it's not just going to be one hustle. It's going to be multiple hustles that all kind of tie in together. They all form and flow together. They all are synergistic. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes people try to have multiple hustles going that don't synergize, right? They're not synergistic. And so it's conflicting. No, all the hustles I want to do are synergistic. They go together, right? So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be showcasing a lot of those hustles. Showcasing a lot of the hustles, because it's going to be great for people to They can come to the channel and get a lot of different information that connect and tie in together, that flow together. You know what I'm saying? Like homesteading, especially when I get my land, I want to really I want to build a lot of different shit, a lot of functional things, a lot of self-sustainable projects. I want to do a lot of projects that involve being more self-sustainable, more self-sufficient, that everybody can use. Everybody can use this knowledge and use the information and follow the steps to have this popping. And of course, I want to collaborate with other homesteaders and whatnot that are established. You know what I'm saying? And kind of add my own thing to it, add my own twist to it. Yeah, it's gonna be dope as fuck, right? And being on the side of the country I'm on, it's a lot easier, right? Y'all gonna see a lot of different things from me, man. Y'all gonna see me fishing, hunting, building shelters, all that type of shit. Yeah, y'all gonna see all that. And I'm gonna be collaborating with people that have expertise in those areas. Exceptional expertise in those areas, right? Because at the end of the day, I am a master student, right? A lot of people like to purport themselves to be master teachers. No. I consider myself to be a master student because I understand that there's always something new to learn, that I don't know everything, right? So I'm a master student. Man, when you get, the concept of the master teacher, it's a good concept, but who's really able to call themselves or have demonstrated that they're master teachers? Once you get in the mind, like, oh, I'm a master teacher, all I can do is teach. Well, then you are stunting your own growth. You can be an elder. You can be one of the elders. You can be 70, 80 years old and still learn something new, even though you've been spending 30, 40 years doing that thing you consider yourself to be a master of. You're still a master, right? Understand, you're still a master of that field or of that craft. But you understand that there are always new concepts that can be brought about, or old concepts that you weren't aware of. So what's funny to me is when people are just getting into a field, they spend 3 or 4 years and they think they know more than somebody that spent 20 years in the field. Like this young lady that works under me that thinks she knows everything. She's a helper, but she's working as a QA QC assistant, and she thinks she knows more than everybody. But she don't know how to open the code book and find anything. She doesn't know how to navigate the code book and explain to people why something they're doing is wrong. But that's a whole nother story, man. She's causing quite a few problems at work. But and those problems that she's causing at work is a blessing in disguise, because it is a reminder that I'm supposed to move on to something better and something different. So all that's done is encourage me to move faster and more intelligently, of course, because you want to be able to replace your income. If you plan on leaving the job, you want to make sure you can replace that income at the same amount or more. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I plan on doing a lot of different things, but not stretching myself too thin at the same time, because like I said, all those things tie together, all those things flow together, all those things are synergistic, including firearms, doing different things with firearms and different things like that. It's all going to tie in, because what I want to get to, when you get to a place where you don't have to earn any money, right? You don't have to earn any fiat currency. You get to a point where You don't need to receive or work for fiat currency to live comfortably. That is my goal, right? Because it's really just about understanding what's really important to you. What's really important, right? It's just like paying everything cash up front and all the way. Reducing and eliminating debt 100%. You buy your land 100% all cash. You grow your own food, whether you are vegan or an animal eater or omnivore. Have your own animals, right? Have your own crops. Have access to well water, right? Have a way to have regenerative and restorable energy on your land, right? Whether it be like solar panels or whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. Being able to be self-sustainable. Like maybe you live near a lake, you can go fishing, right? So you have access to food. You have access to, let's say you're growing some chickens, you got eggs. Let's say you're growing some milking cows, you got milk. Let's say you have some pigs or whatever, you feed them acorns and fruit, you know what I'm saying? And now you have, let's say you have goats, chickens, cows, right? And you got somewhere to go fishing. You got well water, right? You have a septic tank. You know what I'm saying? With the enzymes in them so that it breaks down the waste to where you're not filling your septic tank up so fast. Just doing things on your own land to where you have access to good hunting. You can go hunting, right? You might have deer on your land, that wild deer that graze on your land and all that good shit, right? So you have access to food, you have access to water, right? You got access to food, you got access to water, you got access to renewable energy with the solar panels. Of course, you have to have the right amount of solar panels, right? You don't want to short yourself. You also need batteries. You need batteries that can be charged by the solar panels during the day. And you need a generator. So you have a generator where maybe like a diesel generator or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Not an electric generator, a diesel generator. The electric generators are good to have for smaller shit, but you definitely need like a larger, higher capacity with a good amount of output, a generator that you can use biofuel on. Excuse me. Right? So these are things that you can do for yourself. You can do all these things for yourself. So think about it. Everybody goes to work 8 hours to 12 hours a day. For what? So they can buy food, so they can buy water, so they can pay for energy bills, pays for gas and all that type of shit. And think about it. If you live on land and everything that you operate in your house is electric, you no longer need gas. You can get an Insta-Hot, right? You get an Insta-Hot under your sink. You get an Insta-Hot for your shower. Bada boom, bada bing, you no longer need gas. Electric stove, electric heater, electric whatever. A lot of people don't like it, but you know what I'm saying? It is something that is more sustainable than having a gas line hooked up, right? That they can shut off, right? And you're not about to go fracking on your land to get gas, right? So these are things that people should think about. If you think about that, you have renewable energy to heat and cool your home. You have access to food and water, right? With your animals and with, you got animals that you raise to provide sustenance on a daily basis. Not so that you can slaughter them. Not slaughter animals that you raise to provide milk, eggs, goat milk, cow milk. And these things will also help keep your grass down and all, because they'll eat the grass, right? You know what I'm saying? They'll tear up weeds and all that type of shit. You throw some feed on a bunch of weeds and let the chickens and the pigs and all that and the goats go. They'll eat all that shit. Yeah, they'll get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? You no longer need to necessarily earn a living to make fiat currency. Right? You can go fishing. You can you got your energy, you got access to water, you got a septic tank, right? You have all those things. Right? You might have to give up certain luxuries that you thought were important. But once you get into doing more for yourself and more for your own land, you'll find, hey, this is it. Now it's not going to be fun for everybody, but it's going to be fun for a lot of people. Fishing is fun for me. Hunting, you know, you can have fun doing that. Going to the range and throwing some rounds down range. You know, so you don't necessarily need to go out and work to earn fiat currency to pay for shit that you already have access to on your own land. But you can still earn a living, right? You can still earn a living to do more things. You can still, if you want to go on a trip, you want to go to Hawaii, you want to go on a cruise, you'll still be able to earn a living, but you'll have a lot more disposable income. And you won't have to stress as much. You won't have to stress, oh, I got to go to work 20 hours. I got to go to work for 80 hours this week instead of 40. Nah, man, fuck that. You go to work for 40 hours or you work for 40 hours. And all that money that you earn is disposable. And maybe you put that into a business that you want, that just something that you want to do in terms of business. But it won't be a necessity. Achieving that is my goal. Right? I don't want to have to go to work for somebody else in order to buy food for my family. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to have to go to work for somebody else in order to keep the lights on, right? I mean, fuck that, man. No, fuck that. If I want to go work and earn a living, it's going to be for something that I want to do that's going to be fun. And, you know, if I don't have the money for it, I'm going to be asked out. Nah, fuck that. Nope. So that is my goal. Now, some people, they don't care about any of that. They love to go to work for other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're always going to need somebody that is going to work for you, right? Or work for somebody. There are workers, and then there are, you know, people that put those people to work. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone has the mentality to be self-employed. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. As long as you're happy doing it, as long as you're fulfilled, you know, as long as you don't feel like you're stressed out and, you know, all that shit. Like my stepmother, may God rest her soul, may she rest in power. She loved to work. Right? She had for like 20 years, since I was like, I want to say I was 11, 13, since I was 13 years old until she passed away in like 2012. She passed in 2012 for almost 30 years. She lived in the same 2-bedroom apartment in Inglewood. The same 2-bedroom apartment in Inglewood. And she worked at the same company for all those years. She worked at the airport. Well, actually, she had 2 different jobs. She worked for Continental Airlines, and then she worked for Hertz Rent-A-Car. Continental Airlines went out of business. That's the only reason she lost that job. Yep, she had, and we was always getting buddy flights somewhere. We were always getting free flights. But anyway, yeah, she worked at the same 2 jobs for 30 years. and she died. She had cancer. She died of, I forgot, was it stomach cancer or something like that? She had stomach cancer or something. I love her. She was one of my favorite people. The sweetest woman on earth. I think it was liver. It had something to do with liver. But the problem was she drank a lot. Right. She was an alcoholic. And she drank a whole lot. So when she wasn't working, she drank. But when she was working, the day she worked, she was sober the whole fucking day. Like if she had to work or she had to do something, she was sober as fuck. And when she was sober, she was the most lucid woman on earth in my mind. You could never tell that she was an alcoholic, but when she drank, she only weighed like 110 pounds all her life. When she drank, oh man, it was sloppy. But anyway, she worked for 30 years for the same two companies. Lived in the same 2-bedroom house, apartment for those 30 years. Didn't have any desire to earn any more money than she needed. Didn't have any desire to buy a house. None of that shit. She was very, very content. And you have people like that. They have no desire. I won't say improve their lives, right? Because in her mind, she had nothing to improve on. She was very content. You know, her kids were grown. You know, she raised her kids into adulthood, and they became somewhat productive. She had, once that was done, I mean, she was like, all right, I've done my duty. I'm good. I don't need to do any more than what is necessary. And that's how she lived her life. There are people like that. All they want to do is go to work and come home. Go to work, come home, go to work, come home. And when she wanted to do stuff, she did it. Like, right? You know, she never lived above her means. She never had any, she was very responsible. Very responsible. You know, I don't think she ever was late on any payments of anything. No, never late on a car note. Never late for rent. None of that shit. Her work ethic was on point. You know, it was just that work ethic. She used it for those big companies, Continental Airlines and Hertz Rent-A-Car. Until the day she died, until she ended up in the hospice for however long, and no one knew for like 4 years that she had cancer. And by the time we found out, she had stage 4 cancer. She had no interest in any kind of surgery, no kind of treatment. She turned all that down. She just wanted to, she was done. I don't even think she was 60 years old yet. I think she was like 50 something. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. That's how, no, maybe she wasn't in her 60s yet. No, she was not in her 60s. I was 32. Yeah, I was 32. Yeah. Her son, my stepbrother, was 32, and then her other son was 31 or 30. Yeah, she wasn't even 60 yet. And she didn't want no treatment. It was crazy. We were like, what the hell's wrong? Why don't you want to get treatment? Why don't you want to try this? Why don't you want to try that? Because with the liver stuff, they had a lot of different things that they had trials that they had done that were successful, where they did some shit and people basically did not have cancer no more, or whatever they had. Like my stepdad, who is alive today, my mother's husband, current husband, he had liver issues, and he went and got this clinical trial treatment like 10, 15 years ago, and basically it eliminated whatever thing with the liver he had going on. And he's alive to this day. He's like 80-something years old. Still be running around like he's a young buck. But Still doing shit, still doing gardening and chores and lifting shit. He be doing a little bit too much, in my opinion, sometimes, but it is what it is. Anyway, I know I'm talking about a lot of different shit, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get on off of here, man, and I'm gonna end this live stream and start my other one up in about an hour. I got another live I plan on doing later on, and I'll holler at y'all then. But I appreciate you guys coming through and hitting that like button, you know, and helping me get it out there as much as possible in this algorithm with what they're doing to my channel. But it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.